Hello and welcome to Ascended Astrology. In this video, we're going to be talking about Taurus and Taurus Rising, the recent ingress into your 10th house by Pluto, and then going over to the DMT codes to create a frequency to shift all of this information into. So for Taurus Rising, Pluto, the planet of transformation, is going to be transiting your house of career, public reputation, and how you're seen out in the world. So Pluto is going to give a great amount of energy to really making your mark on the world. If you do know yourself and you do know your career goals, Pluto can bring a lot of power in evoking your desires and meeting success. So, whatever success looks like for you. And I will say that with the intense power of Pluto, it may feel like all of these changes need to be made right now. Rest assured, that's not the case. It's a 20-year transit. You have plenty of time, but there just might be that excitement, that pressure, that passion, that um yeah, just the power of like the intensity behind it. Don't be surprised if you must first take time to know yourself. So, right. So, like, how do we want to show up in the world? Well, how are we showing up for ourselves? How are we showing up for the people around us? This may manifest as a time of feeling lost. I'm almost feeling like dark night of the soul vibes here, but just don't be surprised if that's how it manifests and just ride through it. And so you're going to see, regardless of what you end up doing, if you take some time to figure out your career goals, if you already know your career goals, regardless, you're probably going to see a lot of changes and shifts in your jobs and your career as this energy plays out over the next several years. I would recommend not, again, don't rush this process without taking the time to find out about yourself and to truly align your goals. Because there's no such thing as the wrong path, but there's definitely a more direct path. And I feel like just if you step back and really tune in with like what's aligned and what's resonating with you, it's going to be a lot easier to kind of sort through or navigate this transit. And the kind of programmed shadow side of this planet can manifest as essentially a power hungry tyrant. So be mindful of the desire if it comes up to hold power over people or situations, and do your best to stay in alignment with integrity, and you should be totally fine. Yeah. Okay. So that's all I'm going to say about the astrology aspect of it. And again, this is just surface, right? This is like a big, huge transit, and we're just looking at one little tiny aspect about your house. But now, what I really want you to feel into is this next part. So, for those of you who are new here, if this doesn't make sense intellectually, that's okay. For those of you who've been around, classic process. We're just going to go ahead and place our hands on our heart and close our eyes. And we're going to breathe in a white blue light. So just breathing in a white blue light in through the nose, let it trace along the brain and down the spine. We're increasing the spinal fluid or increasing the frequency to 963. Again, breathing in that white blue light, allowing the frequency to raise and breathing that out through the heart. This is just attuning the body, lighting up every cell of the body. Okay, and next we're going to bring in our code. So we're going to start with a 2. So for this, just go ahead and with your eyes open, with your physical eyes, see the code, attune to the frequency of the code. And once you feel attuned to the frequency, go ahead and shut your eyes. Bring the code in through the center of the forehead, into the middle of the brain, into the pineal gland, allowing this code to spin. And as it does so, it's releasing a very specific frequency You don't have to understand what's going on. You can just be in the experience as this frequency is released. It's lighting up the ionic grid, turning on the quantum body. Okay, and our next code is going to be 22. So, again, with the physical eyes, just gazing softly at the code, attuning to the frequency, and shutting the eyes and bringing the code in to the center of the brain, allowing it to spin, and just releasing the frequency of the 22, allowing it to go through the entire quantum body, turning on the electrons, allowing the frequency of 22 to light up the body. Okay. And our last code is going to be the 11. So again, just gazing softly at the 11, attuning to the frequency, then bringing the symbol into the center of the brain. And releasing the code, releasing the frequency, letting it travel through the ionic grid, through the quantum body, turning on this frequency. And taking our consciousness and following that frequency, constantly attuning our intelligence, our consciousness to this intelligence. Again, you don't have to understand what's going on, just consciously attuning to this code. Okay, thank you. So, really, my goal behind this is to, if these themes, if these things show up for you, if you see how the astrology is playing out, to bring in this code, the 22211, and consciously attune to this frequency and be able to ascend the information, see the information for what it really is, and always be asking, show me what it really is, show me what's next, right? And come back and let me know of any of your experiences in this, any of your practices. And that's it. So, bye bye, Taurus.